too much.
Oh, okay.
Well, hello.
Hello?
Glad to have you back with Trudy
Yes.
and Friends. And we're here today with a very special friend from the past. It's come right into my future. Welcome, Mr. Dennis Jackson. How are you?
I'm doing great. How you doing, Trudy?
Fine. I almost lost you. I didn't know where you were. I haven't seen you for a while, but you're
Yes.
still around.
Yeah, I'm still around. Just celebrated 20 years as an independent contractor agent on May 1st. So I don't plan on going anywhere.
Okay, well, congratulations and good for you. You managed to stay in business when everyone else is crying. How'd you do that?
Well, just faith in God and some loyal customers and diligence to continue helping the community with financial literacy and protecting their family. So that never goes out of style.
It
Uh,
sure doesn't. It sure doesn't. In fact, why don't you give me your whole moniker? What's your title?
My title, well, I'm the president of Dennis M. Jackson Senior Insurance Agency, Inc., which allows me to sell life and health insurance, property and casualty insurance, commercial insurance, banking products, and also just recently took my mortgage originator license, so I'll be able to do home mortgages.
Wow, that's a
Yeah.
big list. Now, you have been practicing all this, or you went to school for all of this, or how did it come
Well,
to that?
as it started, my background, I have a BS degree in business administration and then a master's in taxation. And people always ask me, with a master's in taxation, how come you're not doing taxes, but you're doing insurance? I said,
Ah,
well, it just gives you options. And I chose that. I wanted to help the community in this manner. I think it's a better reach.
well, I'm very proud of you. You must be one of the rarities in our community, right?
Yeah, it might seem so. However, it's a noble profession that a lot of people are doing, but we all try to put our signature on the work that we do. So we'll be known as our person and not by a brand name.
Okay, go for it, sir. But now look, you named about 5 or 6 different sections of what you do. Let's
Yes,
start with the first one. This has been a terrible time for most of us. And I
yes,
guess maybe a time when we're not thinking about insurance in any form, except when something goes wrong. We want to make sure, is it insured? Is it insured? And you have problems even when you do that. So let's
yes.
start off with that list that you have. What is insurance, first of all?
Well, insurance allows the consumer to have protection of their assets or their life, and it's backed by um, another company. So you kind of transfer the risk over to the company in order for them to take care of you at a later date.
So is this a good time, or is any time a good time to have that
That's
kind of
right.
insurance?
Anytime is always a good time to have insurance because it's too late. If you don't have it when the incident happens or the peril
Mm.
happens in your life, be it to your home, to your car, to your business, to your health, and more importantly, to your life during this COVID period, all of us have experienced premature losses of our loved ones. However, after a
Tell
loved
me.
one has passed, we often have to call a funeral director to take care of those needs when they pass. So it's good to have insurance at the time and not rely on the GoFundMe page. Although friends and family do support you, but it would be much easier if that was already in place prior to you trying to establish a GoFundMe page.
Now you handle all of those, except that they're separate. So today, what would you tell people after this pandemic has passed, and not even passed, but we're in the middle of it? But what would you tell people to start thinking about?
I would start, I would tell people to start thinking about anything you have of value, starting with your life. Your life is the most valuable commodity. If you're the breadwinner in the home, if you die, that income that supports your home would no longer be there. It might mean losing your home. It might mean that the children don't get a chance to go to college if you're not around as the breadwinner. So that would be the first thing, is to start with your life. The second thing to do is start with your health, because if you're not healthy, you can't work. So you may need to check with your employer to see whether you have disability insurance, be it long-term or short-term, so that if something should happen and you can't work, you can still have bills, the bills that you have, you can still have those bills paid. Also, you look into long-term care, which we don't sell anymore, but still that's something that's valuable. If you get incapacitated and can't be taken care of at the home, the long-term care insurance allows your family to either put you in a nursing facility and not incur the cost where you have to get a reverse mortgage or sell down your assets in order to afford the insurance. And then your home, which is most people's greatest asset. You want to make sure that you have your home fully covered for any peril that might come. The replacement costs, most of us don't live in the flood zone, so it's not something that we have to readily have. But if you do live in the flood zone, you need to look into having that covered, because if there's a fire in the house, it's very difficult to go to the bank and get $20,000, $30,000 to fix up the house. But if you transferred that risk over to the insurance company, we would take care of you and put you back to the place where you were before the loss occurred. So those would be then. And then your automobile. I mean, you need your automobile to move around and to get to work. So you want to make sure that if you were involved in an accident, that you have enough coverage, which we call liability coverage, to protect you and your home against any claims that might come against it. Again, you want to transfer the risk over to the insurance company and let us take care of the medical bills, the damage to the other car, and the damage to your car. So those are the things that I would look at. We do spring cleaning.
Insurance. Now, someone might say, that's so much insurance.
Yeah.
How do they begin to take care of themselves and their families?
Well, the first thing I would do is contact an insurance professional like myself and get out all of your policies that you have at your disposal. And just like you do spring cleaning and you do inventory, it's the same thing you want to do with your insurance policies. You want to find out if you have enough or more than enough or not enough at all, and let someone who does this on a daily basis sit down with you and have a free consultation, which we call a simple conversation, to find out what things or what gaps you might have that you need to fill in. And so we'll make sure that all of those things are covered.
Oh, you see, I imagine young people listening to this now said, oh, I'll get that later. Later is too late sometimes.
Yes, and later can be expensive. Sometimes people call you after the loss occurred, but because each company has its own different underwriting, if you have prior losses, it can cause your insurance to be higher. So it's better to have it before an incident happens, especially when you're young. With life insurance, and health insurance is based on your age and your physical condition. So you're able to get a lot more for less if you're in really good shape. And the younger you are, if you wait until you're older, one, you may not be able to get it because of pre-existing conditions, or you would pay a rated policy because of that pre-existing condition. So you probably pay more for cable than you would to protect your life and your family's life.
Well, we have a lot of young unmarried people and young people who are getting married. And insurance is not something they think of right away because everything is new and beautiful and going. But see, I waited on something that I should have done long ago. And it pays not to work, not to wait.
Yes, it
pays
does.
to do it while you can do it, first of all. And then when it's cheaper when you do it. from
Yes.
the beginning?
Well, we plan for everything else. We plan to go on vacations. We plan on what new suit we're going to buy. We plan on what shoes we're going to buy. But we rarely plan for those life events that can be catastrophic. And so we have to put that in our plan, just like we do everything else during the day, because it's the most important thing. You won't have to rely on family and friends, and or maybe on your job. You would have something outside of the job to protect you even more, because if you leave that job, most of those insurances that you have will go away. So we should plan for expansion, as opposed to buying a two-seater. If you're expecting to have a family, you're going to need maybe a four-door car or a van. So you always plan for expansion, and you can always lower it at a later date if you feel like you don't need as much. For instance, once someone is born, you may protect them from the age of, as an infant, up until they go to college. So some people get a 20-year term. Some people may get a 30-year term. And when that term period is over for life insurance, if you feel you don't need it, then you don't have to renew it. But during that time period of 20 years, if something should happen to you, you're assured that your family will be able to go on if you're not around to supply the resources.
Dennis, we have a little more to talk about right after this message.
All right.
Okay, you can count down at 5 and then start back up.
Okay. Now, Mr. Dennis Jackson, I'm so glad you're with us, because one thing that I never really got into my head about insurance is insurance a way to save?
What's that?
Is insurance a way to save money?
Well, in our industry, we don't want to mislead the consumer by saying it's a way to save, but life insurance does have some cash value components that grows over time that can be beneficial or kind of serve as a rainy day. The money that grows in our cash value policies, you can take what we call a policy loan off of that money. Now, we would like for you to pay it back, but if you don't pay it back, it's something that we can subtract from your death benefit if something should happen to you. Now, for younger people, especially young toddlers or teenagers or young people in college, we have policies that pay over 15 years.
Hold up for 1 minute.
Yeah,
Dennis,
hold on.
because
Hold on, Dennis.
you're breaking up.
Yes.
So
Is it something that I'm not doing?
I'm hearing a bunch of crunching noise and
I didn't have my hand on anything.
no, you're good.
Dennis, did you change anything?
It's still loud.
I'm
It's
hearing
over on
bunch-
his side.
It still has that.
Yeah. Dennis, I'm gonna need you to probably go out and come back in. Okay?
Do you need you to, oh, okay.
It sounds like somebody eating.
No, I haven't moved. And
I know you're good.
I still have the static.
Okay, that sounds better.
Nope.
Wait a minute.
Is there a wire in your, on your back or anything? There's no wires.
I have no idea what that is.
Uh-oh.
I have no idea what that is. It's actually sounds like somebody chewing.
No,
Wait a
I'm not
minute.
doing anything.
I know.
Hold on.
Yeah, I know. I see. Now you're boy, I tell you, this technology drive me crazy sometimes. Can you come off and come back in?
Wait a minute, don't move yet. Did it go away yet?
No, he's frozen. He needs to Go
Oh,
out and come
okay.
back in.
Okay. Dennis, can you hear us? I don't think he can hear you.
I'm great. I'm gonna call him. Yeah, he's frozen. So
Can you hear me?
yes,
Okay.
he's calling me now, I think. Hello? Hello?
To speak with a representative?
Because he had a couple things open, so I took all of those out. So I'm gonna wait for him to come back in,
Okay.
and we'll see.
Yeah, we were going on pretty good.
Oh, he can't. He might not can come back in. Oh no, it's still. I'm still broadcasting. So that's why sometimes I don't like to change. Because sometimes we go out and then, change it. From now on, we do interviews like this. We just want to pause and then just come right back in.
Well, that's what we did, wasn't it?
No, I popped in,
Oh,
so that might have changed the algorithm. So we'll wait for him to come back. That's a good interview, though. Even that
okay.
part you did already is really good.
What time? Do you know how much time you have left?
About 15 minutes.
15 or 10? I thought it was more like 10. Okay.
It may be 10 because see now the clock is still ticking, so now I'm
Oh,
off. So what
okay.
I'm gonna do, but when I'm gonna get a timer. So when we stop, I'm gonna stop the timer
Okay.
because the clock is still going. So now it's past the time that I will be judging from the
Okay.
recording.
I'll do 10 more and then close it out.
Yeah, that'd be great if he comes back in.
Yeah. Because we were doing fine.
Yeah. See, sometimes them breaks is
And I did the break to give us more time, to use up some more time.
right. Well, Shorty, adds what he need to add in to different things. The lady Laura started to send me some pictures, so I'll send them. Oh, these is nice.
Laura?
Yeah, she's sending me. Let me see if you can
Oh,
see what she sent me. So she sent me pictures and stuff of her garden.
oh, great.
Can you see?
No, I can't see him that well. Don't bother. I'll see them when he puts them on.
Okay. So we'll give him like 5 minutes to come back on. But even that's a nice segment to add to another show as well. If he don't come back on, what you think?
I was thinking about that, but I don't know what would be complimentary and how much time we have left. I don't know.
But I'm saying what you got now. It's been taped.
Yeah,
And that's a nice a little
it
guys.
is.
We're gonna tap on insurance today for about 10 minutes, and then we ask him so and so and so and so and so. Did he give some nuggets? You know. Because I'm getting tired. It's 2 o'clock.
Okay, babe.
Here he comes. There you
There you
go.
go.
'Cause
Okay.
Dennis, you know what it might have been? You had those two other screens that you tried to come in too.
Oh, I see.
Right, so I deleted those and now we're good. I'm ready to go out.
Okay. Thank
And
you.
Now,
y'all can
what should
just,
I do? Count 5 and go?
yeah, count 5 and go.
Okay, glasses. Yeah, there you go. Okay, we're set. We're doing very well, by the way.
Thank you.
I'm going to pick up on that saving business.
Okay.
Okay. And I'm going to ask you what are some of the subjects that someone wants to be a salesman. That's a pretty independent kind of a subject, you know?
Yeah. I can
Be
answer
your
that.
own boss and things like that. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, Dennis, talk a little louder.
Okay.
Can you come up a little more?
Yeah.
The closer the better. That we can hear you. We can see you good.
Okay.
Oh, that's better. All right, here I'm out.
So now we're back with our guest today, Mr. Dennis Jackson, salesman and owner. Before I ask you the question I left you with about saving money being in insurance in any way, what is it you have to do to own your own business? You're a person that's yourself. You know,
Yes.
you're independent, and that's good for young people to know. What
Yes.
are some of the things you have to train yourself to be in your position?
Well, first you have to get the required license by the state that you live in. In Pennsylvania, you have a life and health license, which allows you to sell life insurance and health insurance products.
Uh-huh.
And then you have a property and casualty license, which allows you to sell the renter's insurance, the auto, the homeowners, commercial business, and annuities. And they all sort of come together. But you have to make a choice as to whether you want to be a broker or do you want to be sponsored by a company, as by one company. Being a broker, you can have more than one company that you write for, that you write business for, and it's a separate test. If you are with a sponsoring company like myself, which is State Farm, you have to follow the rules that they set and the guidelines that they set in order to be accepted under their umbrella.
I want to be an owner. I want to be my own man.
Yes. You want to be a owner. You get to hire and fire and train as you see fit. And so that's really the beauty of it, that it is some on commission sales. However, there's income, which is called residual, which comes year after year. After every sale that you make, that stays on the books. There's a percentage that you make an agreement to receive from that. And so you have to be,
a businessman.
You have to have a tough skin.
And you have to be a businessman, Dennis.
Yes, you have to be a businessman. And what has helped me is in my prior careers as an internal auditor, various different jobs I had as for the Census Bureau, a district manager for that, going out to the various different counties. So you like to do what you enjoy. If you have a passion for teaching and for listening and helping people, it is one of those things. If you don't like being behind a desk every day, this might suit you, and you have a passion for making sure that everyone's assets are protected. And if that's something that you desire, it's long hours. You can sort of make the hours the way you want. However, the company expects you to be open during working hours, but you may have to work late hours in order to take care of the things that your customers need. And so what you're selling is yourself, your ability to take care of them, to be trustworthy, to be a person of integrity and with character, because you're taking in their money and you have to make sure that money gets to be applied to their accounts. So you have to be a trustworthy individual. So those are some traits I think that, and it doesn't necessarily mean that you have to have a degree. It just so happens that I did. I worked inside as an accounting supervisor. I worked claims. So those things has helped me to understand the various different parts of the insurance that a customer might, issues they may have when they call me, or that I can advise them on what is the proper what's the proper one that you should take based on my experience and knowing what may happen if you don't have enough.
Yeah. Well, that's certainly good information because I'm glad you said about the college too, that you can train yourself, or you can go to certain schools that will prepare you to be an independent person, and these kids should know that.
Right.
But
I mean, they do have risk management as a major now, so certain schools like Temple have a risk management program.
uh-huh.
So, but that's not the only way. But you can have that individualized training, and also put a plug in for the mentors, because you need help from other people who have done what you're trying to do. And when I first
Okay.
started, there were agents who allowed me to come into their office and see how things should operate. And
All
that
right.
helped me out a lot. So you surround yourself with other mentors who are doing what you want to do, and ask them, can you shadow them and sit down and talk about what it is? Because it's definitely something that I started at 39, but I wish that I had started much sooner. And if you're younger and it's something that you want to do, and you also can hire people from your family. It can be a family business. Now, some people say don't mix family and business, and sometimes that's probably true.
Well, anyway, you've been so helpful. But
Yeah.
now the big question is insurance a way to save? Because I found that there are very few places today, like when I was coming along, where you can save. Is there any way that you can save in being in this business other than saving your money altogether?
Well, actually, insurance, what most people don't know, when you get Social Security, that's really an annuity. And that's, of course, backed by the government. But insurance has things similarly called annuities that's backed by the claims paying ability of the insurance company.
Ah,
And people are living longer. So you're going to need guaranteed income going into your latter years. And one
mm,
way to do that is to have guaranteed income as a part of your portfolio in the way of an annuity. The other ways you can do it, which in the industry, we don't want to look at it as a savings account. However, our whole life policies or cash value policies give you the opportunity, the money grows in dividends and interest over time. And if you don't touch that money, it can grow where you can have enough to take a policy loan off of what has grown. And the one benefit of being able to take a policy loan, as opposed to going to your bank, all you have to do is call the company to get it. Whereas when you go to the bank is going to tell you whether or not you can get the loan or not. But when you have
uh-huh.
money that's accrued in cash value, you can make a withdrawal from that account. Now, there are some things and stipulations that you have to look at. If
Mhm.
you don't pay the loan back to the insurance company, they will take that unpaid amount from your death benefit proceeds. Also, for young people, we have, and older people too, but 15 pay policies or 20 pay policies allows you to pay for 15 years or 20 years. And after that, you no longer have to pay again, and the money grows as well as your death benefit. So that's a good thing for if you have a young child or teenager or someone in college and you're looking for a way to have something for them at a later time. That might be the way to go. And also, when you have a lump sum of money that you get from some way that you get it, and you want to make sure that it's safe or that it want to grow, you can use that as a single premium amount that will put you in. And also, it's a single premium amount that you apply to life insurance, but you also have access to that money at a later date. So those are some of the things that each individual want to sit down with a licensed sales professional and talk about what would be the best method for them based on what they have available to
Hey, that's good stuff. I knew you had the answers.
them.
It's been good to see you and to have you
Yes,
along with us. And I
yes,
hope that you'll still be there. I know you're up there in travel land, but
yeah, yeah. I'm at
you've been there
6200
for quite
Frankfurt
a
Avenue.
while.
Hmm.
You've been there for quite a while. Where are you?
Yeah. I'm at 6200 Frankfurt Avenue in Philadelphia, PA. 19135 is considered Northeast Philadelphia or the Mayfair section. Now, I've been in
Well,
this area for 20 years, so kind of know my way around right now. But with technology, you don't have to come. You can go to my website.
Yeah, just give you a hey there, sir. We need you.
Yes,
And
yes.
I hope that a lot of people will take heed, because I got caught without insurance in some ways that I had to pay for it too.
Yes.
And if you can start early, it's better. And get it done a little bit at a time if you have to, but it's a way that you can make yourself independent,
Yes.
as well informed, and of course saved, as he just pointed out. It's been good to have you, Dennis.
Thank you.
Thank you. We'll have you again.
All right.
Take care of yourself.
Thank you. You
God
too.
bless. And
God
you
bless. All
come
right.
back with Trudy and Friends.
All right. Thank you.